You know that feeling when you are trying to save money, and it feels like pushing a boulder uphill? Every dollar you put away, something pulls it back. A bill, a repair, a moment of weakness at the grocery store. You save $30 and life takes 40. You have been there. I know you have. But let me tell you about something strange that happens to the people who keep pushing anyway. Somewhere around $50,000, the boulder stops rolling backward. And then something happens that nobody warns you about. The boulder starts rolling on its own. Not because you pushed harder, not because you earned more, because the money itself began behaving differently. It started pulling more money toward it, like gravity. And that sounds like good news, until you understand what gravity actually does to your brain when it kicks in. Let me take you back for a second. Think about when you had $5,000 saved. What were you doing every day? Checking your balance, watching every transaction, guarding that money like a dog guards a bone. Then you hit $10,000 and something shifted. You relaxed. The emergency was over. The balance felt safe. You stopped pushing because your brain told you, this is enough. If you have been watching this channel, you know what happened there. The status quo bias kicked in. Your brain built a ceiling. Some of you broke through that ceiling. You kept going. 15, 20, 25, and at 25, your brain quietly reclassified you from a saver into a builder. But here is what nobody talks about. At 50,000, a completely new phenomenon begins, and it is nothing like what came before. Below 50,000, you are the engine. Every dollar that enters your account got there because you personally put it there. You earned it, you transferred it, you sacrificed something to save it. The money moved because you moved. At 50,000, something shifts in that equation. The money starts generating its own momentum. Interest compounds in amounts you can actually feel. Investment returns begin producing numbers that are not insignificant. The gap between your balance on Monday and your balance on Friday starts widening, even on weeks where you added nothing. You did not do anything. The money did it. And your brain notices. Your brain has been tracking the relationship between effort and result for your entire life. Below 50,000, the equation was simple. More effort equals more money. Less effort equals less money. But at 50,000, the equation breaks. The balance grows on days you did not work. It increases on weekends. It compounds while you sleep. Your brain processes this new data and arrives at a conclusion that changes everything. The money no longer needs me to move it. That is the gravity effect. The mass of the money itself is now large enough to attract more. Now here is where I need you to pay attention. Because what I just described sounds like a reward. It sounds like the payoff for years of discipline. And it is. But it comes with something attached that most people do not see until it has already cost them. Confidence. Not the quiet, steady confidence that got you here. Something louder. Something that feels like wisdom, but is actually a bias wearing a very convincing costume. Behavioral researchers call it the overconfidence effect. And it activates at exactly the moment when the stakes are highest. Here is how it works. Your brain has been tracking your financial success for months, maybe years. Every good decision you made got logged. Every milestone you hit got recorded. The brain assembled a track record, and it is impressed with itself. So when a risky investment opportunity shows up at 50,000, the brain does not process it the way it processed risk at 5,000. At 5,000, risk felt like a threat. Your stomach clenched, your hands gripped. At 50,000, risk feels like a calculation you have already proven you can make. The fear that used to protect you has been replaced by a confidence that has not yet been tested at this level. And that is the trap inside the gravity. The same force that pulls money toward you also pulls riskier decisions toward you, because your brain now believes it has earned the right to take bigger swings. Sometimes it has. Sometimes it has not. So here is what I want you to hear. If you are approaching 50,000 or you have already passed it, congratulations, genuinely. You did something that most people never do. You pushed the boulder long enough for gravity to take over. But I need you to understand what gravity actually means. It means the money will grow without you now. That is real. That is earned. That is yours. But it also means your brain is running on a track record of success that makes it feel invincible. And invincible brains take risks that disciplined brains would never touch. The person who was too scared to invest 500 at 5,000 is now ready to invest 5,000 at 50 without blinking. And sometimes that is the right move. But sometimes that is overconfidence disguising itself as financial maturity. The difference between the two is whether you stop and ask one question before every decision at this level. Am I making this move because the evidence supports it, or because my track record makes me feel like I cannot lose? That one question is the difference between gravity building your wealth and gravity pulling you into a hole you dug with your own confidence. The saver protected you. The builder positioned you. Now the investor needs one more thing that neither of them required: restraint. Not the restraint of fear, the restraint of someone who respects what gravity can do in both directions. If that just reframed how you think about your next financial decision, subscribe. I will see you in the next one.